Hello, this is Betty Herbert for Hope and Anchor, and this week I'm going to show you how to set up a really nice simple email template in Mailchimp which carries your branding, and also how to generate a campaign that will email your fans, your followers, whenever you update your blog. So very useful things. I'm going to start by going to my templates. I'm on the Mailchimp dashboard, which you'll get as soon as you log in. And I'm going to start from scratch because I don't already have a template saved. Now Mailchimp gives you lots of lovely options for really elegant emails. I'm going for the simplest one here because it's only going to carry an RSS campaign and I don't want to be fiddling with it. So I'm going to click on Customize. Now there's a great deal of tinkering you can do here if you have the time and patience with things like colour schemes. But for me, I'm just going to go for the most simple option. I'm going to press edit where it says insert your image here, and all I want to do is include my Hope and Anchor logo, so I'm going to upload that. Now the size of this is about 1000 pixels by 288, so if you want something that you know is going to fit, I suggest you rescale to around about that size. It's the size of our web banner as well. I'm clicking save and hopefully it will appear in the preview any second now. There we go, lovely. So I like this personally. I think it's nice and simple. You can add text to this, you can do lots of other things. That's as far as I'm going today, and that will be enough for you to remind people of who you are when they receive an email from you. Now there's a couple of other things I want to change on this template. First of all, follow on Twitter, friend on Facebook. If you want people to be able to click through those links and actually do that, you're going to need to populate it with information. So I've edited, I'm highlighting the follow on Twitter link, pressing the link button, and into that goes my, I'm in caps lock, never mind, goes my Twitter URL. So that's just twitter.com/your Twitter handle. Okay, that's all done. Hope and Anchor don't actually have a Facebook at the moment, so I'm going to delete that, but if you wanted to do that, it's a similar principle, and the forward to the friend, you don't need to change anything on. So I've saved, that takes me back, and the only other thing I suggest you might want to edit is this box here. Now in this box, don't worry about the fact that it looks like code. Mailchimp will populate that with information and it asserts your copyright, which is great. But the other information it puts in automatically is your address. Now if you're an individual like I am, you might not want your home address going out with every mail out that you send. So I just delete that and it should be updating now. Brilliant. I can use the pop-up preview to have a look. Just expand that box so you can see how your email will look. Obviously this information will be completed by Mailchimp. I think that looks really elegant. Okay, so remember when you've done that, once you're happy with it, to go to the top and press save and exit. And I'm going to name my template Hope and Anchor Header. You can name yours whatever you like. Okay, I'm going to exit to my templates. And you can see here that Mailchimp lets me edit my template whenever I want or simply delete it. Okay, so now I'm going to set up my RSS campaign. I'm going back to the dashboard and then on to create campaign. Now just to inform you really, the regular old campaign in Mailchimp's very homey language is the kind of email that you would send out to your mailing list which you'd write manually. So if you had information that wasn't going on your blog, so for example you had a book to promote, you would write a custom-made email to send out to your subscriber list. We're going to use an RSS driven campaign. Now what an RSS campaign does is it lets Mailchimp identify when you've updated your blog, and it will send out an email to your followers to give them the new blog post that you've put on. Now this is based on a technology called RSS, which in very layman's terms, which is about all I understand, is a way for your blog to speak to other programs to tell them when your blog has been updated. Now to do that you need to find your feed URL. Now for most blogs that will be your normal web address /feed. Okay, and if you want to check that, you can put it into an RSS validator. like this one, validator.w3.org/feed. I'm just going to paste my URL into there and press check. And it tells me that that's a proper RSS feed, so I know that that will work when I use it for Mailchimp. So I'm just going to post that in again into Mailchimp. There we are. And then you have a choice to make. So you can either send out, if you select the everyday option, it won't send an email every day unless you've posted. So every time you write a post, that post will arrive in the inboxes of the people who subscribe to your blog. Now that sounds all well and good, but if you post more than once a week, it can get a bit annoying if you're emailing people all the time. People can feel a bit bombarded and they're more likely to unfollow you. So if you're an irregular poster, great, go for every day. If you're a regular poster, I would select instead every week. Now what happens with every week is that Mailchimp will then compile your posts into one email. So what will happen on the receiver end is that they'll get an email with a list of links to the posts you've written. What's great about that is that unlike the native WordPress software, they then have to click through onto your blog to read the full post. So you're actually still driving traffic to your blog, whereas the native WordPress version of this just means that people read it in an email. They're less likely to comment, but also it's not formatted the same way that it's formatted on your blog. So I like this better because it actually lands people on my blog. I've selected every week and I get to choose the day it lands. Everyone will have an opinion on this and it might depend on the day you tend to post. For me, I want something near the end of the week. The time, this says Eastern Greenland time, I'm not sure how that relates to my UK time. Doesn't matter too much because once again it's going into people's inboxes, they're not going to miss it. So I'm going to say Thursday at 4 p.m. I'm going to save and exit. And it's actually as simple as that. That's my RSS campaign created. So you can see here, this is the campaign set up under the campaigns part of the Mailchimp dashboard. From now on, every time I update the blog on hopeandanchor.co.uk, hopeandanchorwriting.co.uk, I should say, the people who've signed up to my subscribers list will get an email in their inbox. Thanks very much.
All right, the next step is coming up with a system to collect email addresses so we can put them on our Mailchimp account and then send newsletters. Very important. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that using WordPress. So here is our super basic website diagram. And what we want to do is connect WordPress to our Mailchimp account. And to do so, we're going to install an opt-in box plugin. First thing, what's an opt-in box? Well, simply, it's a little form that allows you to collect email addresses so they go into your newsletter system. Here's one example of a very popular blog called Wait But Why, which I really recommend reading because it's pretty fun, awesome, and they have really in-depth articles. They have 185,000 people on their newsletter. So every time they have a new post, guess what? They send an email notification to 185,000 people, which means even if a small percentage opens that email, they got lots of views on their blog, which they can monetize by ads, selling merchandise, or whichever way they want. That's the powerful thing about newsletters. And important to have one of these opt-in boxes as soon as possible. And then we have another popular blog called Smart Passive Income, which is great for people that want to start online businesses and understand how they can make money through affiliate systems, through blogging, through podcasting. And they have a newsletter with 70,000 people. And their opt-in box is at the end of each blog post. If you click here, Get Started, you can see you have a little pop-up window where they collect your name and email address as well, which goes to their newsletter. On my own website, growmedia.com, same thing. If you go to our blog, there's a big box here that says sign up for the Grumon newsletter. And on our test website, blissbook.com, that's what I'm going to show you how to do. The same thing. This is a blog post, and here on the right hand side, on the widget area, we're going to add one of these boxes. Now, the steps to do this, the first thing we're going to have to do is create a Mailchimp account. Now, you can use different newsletter systems like Aweber and Constant Contact, but the one I've been using for the longest time is Mailchimp, and it's a very popular solution. Now, it's free up to, I think you have 2,000 email addresses. Beyond that, if you want to send email blasts bigger than that, you're going to have to pay. So let's do that. First thing we're going to do is create a Mailchimp account. Then we'll install the plugin. Then we'll have to enter a couple of codes for the plugin to connect to Mailchimp, and then we'll install the opt-in box in the blog, so we can start collecting email addresses as soon as possible. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is create a Mailchimp account. So all you have to do is go to mailchimp.com, click sign up for free, and create an account. Fantastico. The next thing, we'll create a Mailchimp list. In my case, I have several lists already, so I'm not going to create a new one. But if you go to lists and then you create new list, it'll guide you through all the steps of creating a new list. And then the next thing we have to do is install the opt-in plugin in WordPress. To install our opt-in plugin in WordPress, let's go to our WordPress admin area. Then we go to plugins, add new. We're going to type opt-in cat. Then we select our Mailchimp forms by opt-in cat, install now, activate the plugin. And then we're going to create our first form by going to this new menu, all opt-in forms, add new. Let's give it a name. In this case, it's going to be a widget that goes in the sidebar. So I'm going to call this just sidebar. And go to sidebar widgets. We got post boxes, pop-ups. The one we're going to install is going to look like this, right? On the sidebar. Go save. So now we have that saved. But let's go and change the layout, right? We don't like that layout. Let's go to a sidebar widget, select it, and now we can actually change everything, all the CSS, the look, and all of that. We're gonna leave it like this right now. But to connect it, we need to get our API key from Mailchimp. To get that API key, we need to go to our profile on Mailchimp, click on profile, then go to extras, API keys, scroll down to create your API key. If you don't have one already, you can click here, create API key. Once you have it, all you have to do is copy and paste that very long code here. Once it gets recognized, you can select which list do you want to save the email addresses. In this case, I'm going to say Grumo web visitors. So every time somebody signs into my newsletter, it's going to go to that list. And then you can select where does it redirect the page once somebody clicks submit. You can select this, any of your pages basically. Let's say that in this case we just want to redirect to our blog. Once you have that, click save. We selected that. Now we can place this opt-in box in our sidebar. So we have to go to appearance, widgets, scroll down to opt-in cat sidebar widget, drag that to the area of our sidebar we want that to appear, select the form. In this case, it's going to be the sidebar form, save, and then when we go our blog, just click here on blog. On the right hand side, we should have our opt-in box. Hey, did you enjoy this video? If you want to see more like this, just subscribe here. If you want a free gift, click here. Yeah. Which one is going to be the one you click? La 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 li 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 li.
Hello, I'm Betty Herbert, and today I'm going to show you how to add a box for email subscriptions onto your blog using Mailchimp. Now, for those of you that are using a wordpress.com blog, you'll already have the option of a built-in widget that you can drag into your sidebar, which is this area here on my blog. It might be on the other side on yours. That will let you add subscribers straight away. But the beauty of using Mailchimp instead is that it allows you to collect richer data from people and to do more with it. So you're able to send your own mail outs as well as the automatic ones that WordPress send. And as you can see, I already use one of these on my own blog at bettyherbert.com. It looks a bit like this. I could have it in a different place. I could have it bigger or smaller. but essentially it's a very simple form. Okay, to get started you need to go to mailchimp.com and ask to create a new account. It will take you through a series of steps which I won't go through now because they're quite self-explanatory, but eventually you will land on your dashboard. From there go to lists, create list, and this is the information that you're going to use to identify what's going on here when you log in. So give it a name that you understand, Hope and Anchor subscribers. A default from name, so this is the name that your, in caps, that your emails will be sent from. And then a default reply to email, so if people post back, they'll be going to hello@hopeandanchor.co.uk. The default subject line for your email is quite a handy thing to do. I'm going to put news from Hope and Anchor. You can always change this for specific emails, but if you're feeling lazy, it will go out automatically like this. And Mailchimp always asks you to remind people how they got onto your list, which is a great thing for stopping people from feeling like they've been spammed. So you are on this list because you signed up at hopeandanchor.co.uk. Mailchimp will automatically provide an option to unsubscribe. You can also be emailed when people subscribe or unsubscribe if your ego can take it. Okay, so I'm going to press save. So I've set up my list once this is saved. It's taking a while. And from there I click on Design Sign Up Forms. Now, as I said, I'm going to show you how to make the most simple kind of sign up form here. If you go into the Build It tab, which it takes you onto straight away, you can make something much more complex, but that's not what we're doing here today. And what I'm going to show you is going to be adequate for most people. So I click on the Share It tab, and then on the right hand side, create HTML code for a small subscribe form. I'm clicking there. And this is a preview of the form you'll get. Now, as you can see, it's nothing elaborate. It's literally asking people to put their email address in. You may want to do something more complicated, but this is going to be enough for us at Hope and Anchor, I think. So I click to highlight all of this code in here, copy it using Command-C if you're on Apple or Control-C if you're on a PC. Then I go to my own blog, log into the dashboard, select widgets under appearance in the sidebar, and then I drag a text widget over from the little available store. I've not done that very well, have I? Don't. Into my main sidebar. That opens itself up automatically. I simply paste using Control-V or Command-V the HTML code into the text box, press save, and then visit my site, and I should see, yes, there it is, a lovely simple mailing address form.